Hello, everyone. This is Miss Danica, your guidance associate. Now, this will be our second session for our homeroom guidance with the title The Way I See Myself. It's very interesting because it focuses more on I. How do I see myself? Now, how do you see yourself? Let's explore more. For our objectives, at the end of this module, the students should be able to identify one's different personality variables that are aligned with the chosen senior high school track and strand. Another one, relate how one's personality variables are aligned with the chosen senior high school track and strand. And lastly, appreciate the importance of how one's personality variables are aligned with the chosen senior high school track and strand. Now, let's explore further. For the introduction, a prevalent problem of the youth is when it is time to choose a career. They do not seem to have a clear choice. And this is exactly true when you are already in the stage where you would like to proceed with the course in college. And then you cannot be able to choose which career would you like to go because of the different choices from your family, from the other members of the family, or even with the confusion that you have from within. Either they like too many things and thus cannot choose one, or they are not much aware of their talents and preferences, especially if you are still in the confusion stage where you cannot even know your own identity. There is identity crisis. It is where you are asking about yourself, which career path is really for you, which is aligned with your long term goals, your future plans, and if it is aligned with the value of your parents as well. You are not only considering the choices of your own, you are considering the financial aspect, the choices from your parents, the pressure from the other family members. And that's actually where the confusion may arise. Another one, when students feel like they might have chosen the wrong course or path for them, they often find themselves failing subjects, shifting courses, transferring schools, or worse, dropping out of school. And this is actually true again. When you are already in a certain path in college, you take that course during your first year of college or even the second years, and then you realize that this path is not for you, it is actually quite um really waste of time, waste of money, and even waste of opportunity, because everything that you are trying to explore may have different consequences, whether it might be a small decision or a long-term ones. As long as you have your own option to decide, there will always be accompanied consequence for that. That is why before you choose the decision, try to always seek for advice from the adults and then those who already experience the same situation with you, because they already know what thing to do and what thing must be avoided in order not to lose track of your certain goal. And then, whenever you feel like you are failing, do not give up. There will always be thousands of reasons to not give up. Now, let's proceed. Another one, time, money, and opportunity are lost when a person decides to stop what he or she is currently pursuing to go back to the start and pursue something else, as such as shifting from one program to another. Of course, it is really important to decide because there are certain consequences, as what I have mentioned. So it can either be something that could impact you in the future, a large impact, a broader impact. So it is really valuable to decide for your future. However, By making sure that our students are making wise career choices, we are limiting the chance that they will be choosing the wrong career for their futures. This can be done by helping them to be more aware of themselves and by letting them understand what their preferences, dreams, and fears are. By knowing themselves deeply, students will be able to match their personality in choosing their careers. Again, let's go back to your inner core. When you decide for a career path or for a course that you would like to take in college, always go back to who you are. The personality should be aligned to your chosen path. Because if you are shy, you are introvert, and then you would like to go for a course that is more on socialization, go back to you in the future, because at the end of the day it will drain your energy, it will make you unsatisfied, you are not happy, and you will also regret because you will realize that this path is not for you. You are typically tired or timid to really explore and explain to your students the ideas because that is the career that is not aligned to your personality. So again, go back to who you are. Identify your strengths, identify your weaknesses. And once you're settled with that, always work on improving yourself and always align with your long-term goals. Now, there are 6 personality types according to theory of vocational personalities. So when you would like to have certain ideas or certain career path, you would also like to align it with your personality. And this theory of vocational personalities will help you realize which one is for you as well. This is also a guideline. It can also help you on your personality and what job is possible for you or occupations that is possible for you. Now, for the 6 personality types, according to vocational personalities of theory, we have first being realistic. Another one, investigative. We also have artistic. We also have social, enterprising, and conventional. Now, let's dig deeper. Let's start with letter R. R means realistic doers. It means someone who enjoys occupations that comprises of activities that includes practical, hands-on, hands-on problems and solutions. Like for example, skillful in working with tools, electrical drawings, machines, or plants and animals. Basically, realistic doers are those people who would like to do practical things. So, what is really on the reality, on the real side, on where they can actually use their skills, on where they can actually expose their ideas into craft, into something that is really aligned with their own skills. Okay, so we have here, like for example, electrical drawings. So it basically these people wants to go deeper with exploring themselves in a way that is more skillful than the others. They are not just showing their talents, but as well as the capabilities that they do have, the abilities that they do have, what they can actually do to perform a certain task. Like, for example, those who would like to be a fashion designer, so they are realistic doers because they are crafting, they are molding something in order to be to produce a product and to give it to the community. So there will always be a product that they would like to show or express to the community. That's what realistic doers would like to do. So they tend to have product or something tangible that they would like to produce in order for the community to make use of that. So basically, they provide something that is useful in the community. It doesn't necessarily mean that if you cannot produce something tangible, you are not practical or you are not good in the job that you are doing. So this is just one of the personality in the vocational theories. Being a realistic doer, there is something that you are producing to help the community. Another one, let's try to think of an example of being a really realistic doer. You are producing a product. Like for example, working in a farm, of course. So you are helping the animals in order for them to provide something in return. So that's realistic doer as well. And another one, when aside from making clothes, when you are making shoes. So you are also a realistic doer because there is a product that you would like to offer in the community in return. Now, how about the other personality? We also have the investigative thinkers. It means someone that requires working with ideas and require an extensive amount of thinking. If realistic doers are those people who would like to produce craft, produce product to help them become more skillful. Investigative thinkers use rationalization. They use their ideas. They are more on the critical side, critical thinking skills. Like, for example, people who enjoy studying and solving scientific and mathematical problems. You can actually give here an example. Like, for example, being a teacher. Teachers are really investigative thinkers. They do want to think on how to solve the problem, not only with the mathematical aspect, but of course with the real problems of the students. So they are investigative thinkers. Another occupation that you may align for being an investigative thinker is a statistician. So you are providing data and then interpreting that large amount of data into the population. So you are an investigative thinker. Another one, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, a psychometrician. They are investigative thinkers. They do create solution to a certain problem, critically speaking. They analyze the problem, they observe, and they also get or gather data through empirical evidences. Now, let's proceed with the other ones. We also have artistic creators. Now, if we are talking about artistic creators, from the word itself, artistic, so meaning they are more creative, encompass working with forms, designs, and patterns. They require self expression and they're good for people who dislike working within a set of rules. Example, art, drama, crafts, music, dance, or creative writing. Anything that can create something within their means of expression to express themselves more creatively without following certain protocols. Now, there will be an overlapping idea with the first discussion, the realistic doers, because realistic doers do produce craft as well, produce product to give value to the community. But then, artistic creators do not follow certain guidelines because they would like to express more themselves. Unlike realistic doer, they have certain procedures. Like for example, if they are working in a machine or factory, so they would like to have certain procedures for that. There will always be standard. For artistic creators, they don't follow a certain guideline. I'm not saying that they don't have guideline at all, but then they're not following a certain guideline on the hours that they would work because creativity would only flow when you express it fully within your own time. So artistic creators have their own time management. So there are no people who are controlling their time. The time that they have is all for themselves. Like, for example, being in the art industry, drama, or music. So, when you are creating music, you cannot really make music or play music just by doing it every day. There are instances that you don't want to really play the music. So, that is how artistic creators evolve. It depends on their own time and their own duration where their artistic creativity would really foster. Another one, we also have social helpers. So, social helpers defines social occupations comprise communicating with and educating people. These occupations frequently include serving and helping others. So, social helpers, like for example, teaching, nursing, counseling, and providing information to help solve social problems. As long as you are helping the society within your service, that is a social helper. Being a doctor, being a teller in a bank, where inquiries are being solved. So, you are a social helper with that. Another one, basically, when you are working in the government, you are a social helper because you are communicating and you are also there to educate people. Now, another one, can you give me another example of being a social helper where you are actually serving or helping others through that kind of occupation? Another one being a marketing staff. You are also helping others with how you market the products and then leading them to what is actually the benefits of choosing that kind of product. Social, being able to help with your service. Another one is when you are in the call center as a call center agent. You are helping those people who would like to become to make their transactions more easier through phone calls. So you are helping them. Not necessarily in direct speaking, but it can also help in indirect way through phone calls. Now let's proceed with another vocational personality. We have enterprising. So enterprising are those people who are known as persuaders. They like to lead and persuade others, sell things and ideas, and take action rather than thinking about things. Example, marketing, entrepreneur, human resource officer. Enterprising does not directly means you have to sell something. You have to sell a product. You have to sell tangible things. Enterprising is more on how you can be able to have a good transaction, a business transaction to be exact. So it can either be something that could help you to lead by example and to take action rather than just by thinking. Like, for example, being again in the government, when you lead people, when you are good with socializing with them and helping them with their problems, it can either be in the social helper aspect or in the enterprising part because you are also building connection. Enterprising in a sense that you are leading people, you are also persuading people to vote you. So, in that aspect, you are in the enterprising field as well. Another one is when you are an entrepreneur. Yes, basically, from the word itself, enterprising, you are an entrepreneur. You would like to persuade people to invest in your business or to buy that certain product. Another one is when you are a social influencer. So I know that every one of you is now following different social media influencers. Now, they are in this kind of vocational personality, being an enterprising people or person rather, because they do have the tendency to persuade people and to lead others by example of how they wear clothes, their fashion, and anything that could give impact to the society. And we also have conventional organizers. Conventional organizers consist of the following set of procedures and routines. Involve working with data and details more than ideas. Clear line of authority to follow. So conventional organizers are those who would like to go with how the procedures evolve. There will always be certain standards, certain guidelines. They do not want to go into something that is more complicated. They just want to follow the rules directly and strictly. Example, skillful with working in data, records, machines, and numbers in systematic way. So basically, these people would like to work in a certain standard. There will always be manual for them. They would always look for the manual and then follow the manual. What's written on the manual, they will do it. So basically, their job description does not align with only by following their managers or their bosses. They would like to actually base it on the manual or in the job description, in the paper, or in the evidence, if that's actually with the alignment in their given job description. So they do not like to go in a complicated ways. They want to follow certain rules. So they have clear line of authority to follow. When there is no evidence, there's no manual, there's no operational guideline, they will never ever try to go beyond because they just want to stick to the rules. That's how conventional organizers work. Now, I would like to ask you, which among the six personality factors or vocational personalities are you? Are you, let's go back, let's review. Are you a realistic viewer where you would like to create something in to help the society? You are more on the practical side, or are you an investigative thinker where you are using more your critical thinking skills? Or are you an artistic creator where you would like to have self expression through music, through dance, through arts? Or are you a social helper? Would you would like to have a kind of occupation that serves the society? Or are you an enterprising person where you would like to persuade and lead people by example? Or lastly, would you like to become something that is more on the traditional side, conventional organizers? They would like to follow certain standards, certain manuals. There will always be evidences on what they are doing. Now, it's up to you on what personality you are. Now, let's discover the Generation Z. Generation Z is the most diverse generation of individuals to date. Now, these are the qualities of Generation Z. So, not everything that are written will be agreeable for you, but this is based on the research. Generation Z are responsible, not spontaneous. They are also open minded, not conservative, thoughtful, not focused at some point, loyal. When it comes to view of authority, they work with them instead of trying to go into another point or path. When it comes to view of relationships, they have collaborative relationship. They also have resolution to certain problems. When it comes to value system, they are open-minded. When it comes to view of career, there will always be a place to solve problems. So basically, Generation Z, as you are always open to solve problems of your own. And when it comes to view of technology, you adapt and you also live by it. Another one, not competitive. In my part, I do not really agree because I can really see how competitive Generation Z are. Another one, entrepreneurial. Not creative, compassionate, critical of peers, interactive, fear of missing out, which is actually true. Always go on the trend, especially on TikTok. And wanting to make a difference, which is more on the positive side, because Generation Z would like to create a difference, create a big impact in the society in a positive ones. Now, what is the importance of aligning one's personality variables to the chosen senior high school track and strand? When you are aligning this personality that we have tackled a while ago, it allows you to assess your strengths and weaknesses. It serves as a guide into honing your weaknesses and characteristics into a particular track that needs you to improve. It helps you also to succeed in your chosen field. Another one, it can help you to set goals and develop strategy for getting where you want to be. So this serves actually as a guideline in order to know yourself more. It expands your knowledge and skills while at the same time exposing you to your chosen field of study and preparation for college. And it also leads you to positive outlook in life and easily overcome obstacles as you face the reality of your chosen track. And lastly, students or you as senior high school will be able to achieve fulfillment when you have chosen the career track that aligns with your values. So basically, there will always be satisfaction if your personality is with alignment with your chosen track and strand or even your career in the future. Now, as we end this, I would like to give you the anchored solution core value that you will get in this module: reason or reasonableness. This module allows the senior high school students to have introspection and be rational in the decision that they are about to make in preparation for their chosen field. So you are more trying to dig deeper to who you are as a person and to who you are when you want to proceed with a certain path. I hope that it helps you to really have a clear idea of what you would like to become in the future. That's all for today. Have a great day. Thank you everyone for listening. Goodbye.